I am Dr. Suganta, Head of the Department of Economics and Assistant Professor. I am going to handle you Rural Economics course, and now let's explore Unit 1. Welcome to this presentation on the rural economy, an essential component of global development. I am Suganta, and over the next 20 minutes, let's explore various facets of the rural economy, including its importance, challenges, and the way forward. We will cover the key aspects outlined in these slides, starting with the characteristics of rural economies. Now let's move on to the introduction of rural economy and the characteristics of rural economy. Rural economies play a significant role in food production and provide livelihoods for millions. Let's start by looking at the characteristics of the rural economy. Rural areas are highly dependent on natural resources such as agriculture, livestock, and forestry. Small-scale enterprises like family farms and cottage industries dominate the landscape, contributing to the local employment. However, the seasonal nature of agriculture and weather patterns significantly influence economic activities. Additionally, rural areas often suffer from limited infrastructure, including transportation, communication, and access to essential services. Let's now move on to the importance of studying rural economy. The FAO estimated that global hunger increased in 2023, affecting rural populations the most, with over 735 million people globally facing food security. According to the 2023 Economic Survey of India, rural areas contributed about 47% of India's GDP, with agriculture employing over 60% of the workforce. The Indian government increased funding for rural development programs by 15% in 2023 to address poverty and unemployment. First, it helps us understand the challenges these areas face, such as poverty, unemployment, and environmental degradation. Promoting sustainable development within these regions is crucial for economic growth while preserving natural resources. Understanding the rural economies also enhances food security, ensuring we address hunger and malnutrition on a global scale. Finally, focusing on rural areas allows us to build a more equitable society by creating opportunities for those in underserved regions. Now, let's move on rural versus urban economy, a comparative analysis. As of 2024, approximately 34.5% of India's population lives in urban areas compared to 65.5% in rural regions, highlighting the persistent significance of rural economies. Let's talk about infrastructure gap. India's rural electrification program reports that about 97% of villages have access to electricity, but the quality of infrastructure and supply remains inconsistent. Rural and urban economies differ significantly. Rural economies focus on agriculture and small-scale businesses, often with limited infrastructure and less diversified industries. In contrast, urban economies are dominated by industries, services and large corporations supported by well-developed infrastructure. Rural areas typically have stronger community ties, while urban areas are more competitive and complex. Recognizing these differences helps in formulating development strategies that are appropriate for each context. Next, let us move on to the factors influencing rural economy. There are many factors influences the rural economies. Some are government policies, technological advancements and climate change. Policies around agriculture, taxation and infrastructure development significantly impact rural regions. Technological advancements can boost agricultural productivity and create new economic opportunities, while climate change presents risks like disrupted agricultural production and increased natural disasters. Market dynamics and social factors, including migration and demographics, also play a crucial role in shaping rural economies. Next, government policies. In 2023, the Indian government launched Krishi Unnati Yojana to promote precision farming and digital agricultural practices, improving yields in rural areas. Climate change. Reports in 2024 indicate that erratic monsoon patterns due to climate change led to a 10% reduction in crop output in certain regions of India. Next, technological advancements. Use of drones and artificial intelligence in farming saw significant growth in 2023 with a 30% increase in adoption among rural farmers. Now, let us explore the role of agriculture in rural economy. Agriculture is the backbone of rural economies, providing food, raw materials and employment. Beyond that, agriculture contributes to regional economic growth by supporting local businesses. It also plays a vital role in sustaining rural livelihoods as millions of people depend on farming for income. Furthermore, sustainable agricultural practices help preserve natural resources, protect biodiversity and promote environmental stewardship. Next, let us move on to the challenges faced by rural economies. There are several challenges which are faced by rural economies, including poverty, inequality and unemployment. Limited access to resources like education, healthcare and essential services perpetuates poverty. Unemployment and underemployment are also widespread due to a lack of diversified economic activities. Moreover, inadequate infrastructure including poor transportation and communication hinders rural development. Environmental degradation caused by unsustainable practices and the impacts of climate change further exacerbates these challenges. Unemployment. Rural unemployment rose slightly to 7.5% in 2023, driven by a decline in agricultural productivity. Next, education and healthcare. Access to healthcare continues to be limited in rural India, with the 2023 report stating that only 30% of rural areas have proper healthcare facilities. The next, strategies for developing rural economy. Several strategies can help develop the rural economies. Investing in agriculture by providing access to modern technology and training for farmers is essential. Promoting rural industries such as agro-processing and tourism can diversify economic activities and create more jobs. Infrastructure improvement, including better transportation, communication, and energy access, is crucial for unlocking economic potential. Education and skill development also play a key role in equipping rural populations to participate in the modern economy. Sustainable agriculture. The Indian government's PM Kisan Samman Nidhi initiative reached over 11 crore farmers in 2023, providing financial support for sustainable practices. The next is tourism and agro industries. Rural tourism has seen a 20% increase in 2023 with initiatives promoting eco-tourism and local handicrafts contributing to economic diversification. The government initiatives for rural economic development. Governments around the world have implemented programs to support rural development. These initiatives often focus on agriculture, infrastructure, and community growth. For example, rural development programs help improve infrastructure, while the government extension services provide technical assistance and training for farmers. Investments in transportation and energy infrastructure are crucial for opening up new opportunities and supporting the rural businesses. The recent initiatives. The Atmanirbhar Bharat Abhiyan introduced rural-centric reforms in 2023, focusing on agricultural infrastructure, cottage industries, and micro loans to empower small enterprises. The next will be financial support. The Pradhan Mantri Awas Yojana PMAY program allocated $1.5 billion in 2023 to build houses in rural areas. Next, let's move on to the introduction to the barter system. Let's now shift our focus to barter system, which is a method of exchange where goods and services are traded directly without using money. This system was common in early economies and is still practiced in some rural areas today. The barter system has advantages such as facilitating trade in regions without a common currency, but it also has limitations due to the need for a direct match of goods or services between trading parties. Next, let us move on to non-monetized sector, agricultural marketing. In many areas, especially in the non-monetized sector, agricultural marketing plays a very significant role. Traditional practices involve direct exchanges between producers and consumers, often through barter or informal credit systems. However, challenges such as lack of access to markets and information, along with the limited infrastructure, hinder the farmers from receiving fair prices. Improving market access and providing farmers with the necessary tools to negotiate the prices can significantly increase their income. Let us now discuss on the difference between farm income and non-farm income. Rural households typically earn income from both farm and non-farm activities. Farm income comes from the sales of crops livestock and other agricultural products, while non-farm income is derived from wages, salaries and profits from non-agricultural activities. This combination of income sources is vital for supporting the rural livelihoods, particularly in regions where agriculture alone may not be sufficient to meet the household needs. Now, let us dive into the challenges which are faced by the rural economy. Rural economies face several critical challenges, including poverty, unemployment and lack of access to education and health care. These challenges are compounded by the impacts of climate change, which threaten the agricultural production and rural livelihoods. To address these issues, we need a comprehensive approach that includes investments in infrastructure, education and social protection. Now, let us talk about the role of agricultural marketing. Agricultural marketing is crucial for improving the rural livelihoods. It helps connect producers to consumers and ensures that farmers receive fair prices for their products. Improved market access can reduce the price fluctuations, stabilize income for farmers and generate higher overall incomes. Enhancing agricultural marketing systems is a key strategy for developing the rural economies. Digital markets. The National Agricultural Market, we call it as ENAM, expanded its digital platform in 2023, connecting over 1.7 million farmers to buyers across India, helping them achieve better market access. Addressing the problems of the rural economies. There are many ways to address the rural economies. The challenges requires a multi-pronged approach. Investment in infrastructure is critical for improving the transportation, communication and storage facilities. Education and skills development are equally important as they prepare the rural populations for the modern economy. Healthcare and social protection systems also need to be strengthened to ensure that the rural communities have access to essential services. Finally, leveraging technology and innovation can help modernize the agricultural practices and improve the market access. To conclude, the key takeaways are: the rural economies is vital component of the sustainable development. By addressing the challenges it faces and investing in rural communities, we can promote economic growth, reduce poverty and create a more equitable future. Thank you for your attention throughout this presentation. I hope it has provided you with valuable insights into the importance of rural economies. Thank you all.